So good evening guys. In the last session, we have seen that how to implement dynamic query to search the data. And later we have taken a task to read employee hike from the user. I mean, our program should take the hike from the keyboard. Based on the given hike, we need to update employee salaries in the database table. Let me go to my database. First of all, how to calculate hike percentage calculation. For each employee, assume that I want to give 10% hike. So how to implement that logic? First, let's go to the database table. Use DB, use database, advanced Java database. Use advanced Java database. Now, in this database, we have a table, select star from employee. This select star from employee. Run the query. So we got several employee records. Now, I want to develop my Java application, which will update salary of each employee based on the hike percentage. All right. First of all, assume that my program is going to read the data from the keyboard. Okay, the first thing is read hike percentage from keyboard using scanner. We are going to use a scanner class. Using that scanner class, we can read the hike percentage from the keyboard. Now assume that I got the percentage as double, hike is equal to some s dot next double. S is my scanner. Now I want to update the salary of the each employee. Okay, so first what we can do, retrieve all employees from table. When I retrieve all employees from table, how I am going to get the data? Result set rs is equal to pstmt or stmt, anything is fine. stmt dot execute query. Execute query. I'm going to supply my query as an input. So what is the query? Select star from employee. That is my query. My query will read all the data from the table. So when we retrieve the data from the table, the data we are getting in the form of result set object. Data we are getting in the form of result set object. How to iterate that result set? While rs dot next. While rs dot next. I'm going to get each record. I'm going to get the each record. Now assume that I'm getting rs dot get double of emp underscore salary. emp underscore salary. So here I'm getting double existing salary. Can I say that? Double existing salary. Now I need to update new salary for the employee in the database. How to calculate the new salary? How to calculate the new salary? Percentage calculation. How to do that percentage? Double new salary is equal to existing salary plus existing salary multiplied by 10 divided by 100. So what is this formula? What it will give you guys? 10% of the existing salary. So this is the employee existing salary. For the employee existing salary, we are adding 10% of that. Existing salary multiplied by 10 divided by 100. So what this will give you? What it will give you? 10% of the salary it will give you. Existing salary plus 10%. That will be the employee new salary. Okay. Now I'm retrieving all the employee records from the table. For the each employee, I'm getting the existing salary. For the existing salary, I'm adding 10%. For existing salary, I'm adding 10%. So this is the new salary. Okay. Now here I'm going to take integer employee ID is equal to rs dot get int of employee underscore ID. RS dot get int of employee ID. Now ID will be unique for every employee. I retrieved employee ID and I retrieved employee salary. So now can I update the employee record with the new salary now? Can I update the employee record with the new salary now? Yes. For that, I'm going to write one query here. I'm going to write one query here. So what is my query is string SQL. My query is string SQL is equal to update employee, set employee salary is equal to positional parameter, where employee ID, employee underscore ID is equal to given value. So for this given employee ID, this salary should be updated. We know what is the ID of the employee. We know what is the new salary of the employee. Then we can execute this query. Then it is going to update the salary for each employee. It is going to update the salary for the each employee. Are you able to understand this? So this is one way of doing this logic. This is one way of doing this requirement. What is the another way of doing this requirement? What do you mean by direct into database? So instead of executing like this, can I keep this formula directly here only? Can I give that formula directly here only? So that person has done that. Okay, if you go for this logic now, what is the problem? If you go for this logic, what is the problem, guys? Yes, you implemented this logic. So this guy, your name? Sorry? Amit Kumar. Yeah. So you implemented this logic with the while loop, correct? So what you are doing is you are retrieving all the employee records from the table. You are writing a while loop. How many times your while loop will be executed? In this scenario, how many times our while loop will be executed? Suppose if there are 50 records available in the table, how many times my while loop will execute? 50 times while loop will execute and 50 times update query will execute. Getting my point? So that is the performance issue. Here now what this logic is going to do is, here I'm having my database table. Here I'm having my database table. Here I'm having my Java application. So salary hike, that logic I have written in my Java application. Here logic to update new salary. So in my Java application, we have the logic to update the new salary. So this is my Java application. This is my DB table. In the database table, we are having employee records. Employee records are available in my database table. Our requirement is today is our company financial year ending. Assume that. Today is our company financial year ending. For all the employees, based on the performance, I am giving the rating. I'm giving the hike for them. So when I'm giving the hike for them, this year, company decided that for all the employees, we are giving 10% salary hike. From next month, they need to get the revised salary. So if the employee having 10,000 as a salary, he will get 1,000 rupees increment. So next month onwards, he will get the 11,000. If employee having 20,000 as a salary, he will get 2,000 as a hike. He will get 22,000 as a salary in the next year. Are you guys getting my point? Yes. So that logic we have implemented in my Java application. So in order to do this, here, what I have done is I'm taking the hike from the keyboard. How much a hike we want to give for the employee. I have taken that from the keyboard. Then to update the new salary for the each employee, first I am retrieving all the employees from the table. First I am retrieving all the employees from the table. So to retrieve all the employees from the table, I am using statement only. In this scenario, statement or prepared statement doesn't make any sense because Are we giving any values for the query? We are not giving any values for the query. Directly we are executing select star from employee. Same static query, no input. So I'm executing that query with the statement. I got the results in the form of result set object. That result set may contain 1000 records, may contain 10,000 records, may contain 20,000 records also. Now let's take an example of Infosys company. How many employees are there in the Infosys? Yeah. Online people, is it audible now? Is it audible now? Yeah, right. So I'm trying to explain that Infosys employee want to give the salary hike for the all the employees working in the Infosys. In the Infosys company, there are 4 lakhs employees are available. So as per our logic, this query will retrieve 4 lakh records from the table. This query yeah. Is it audible, guys? Online people, is it audible now? Yeah, good. Fine. So I'm retrieving 4 lakh records from the database table. 4 lakh times my while loop is going to execute. Okay. I retrieved the record. Now observe. Now observe what is the problem. First record, while loop is executed. For first employee, I executed one update query. Okay. While loop executed for first employee salary updated. Then again, second record. For the second record also, update query executed. For third employee also, update query executed. For fourth employee also, update query executed. For fifth employee, executed. 100th employee, executed. 1 lakh employees, executed. How many update queries will execute? 4 lakh update queries will execute. Java application will run in one computer. Database server will be available in another computer. Tomorrow, once we go for the industry in the projects development, right? Our project will run in one computer. Our database will run in another computer. Java application should connect with the database server through network. If this program is executed, how much time it will take? Lot of time it will take, right? Because lot of network calls will happen. Lot of network calls will happen. What is the meaning of lot of network calls? What is the meaning of lot of network calls? The number of round trips between our Java application and database will increase. The number of round trips between Java application and database will increase. If the number of round trips increased between Java application and database, then what is the problem? What is the problem? Simple example, man. I asked you to run from our institute to till Amoga tea stall for 10 times. You need to run continuously 10 times. You need to round trip from our institute to Amoga tea stall 10 times. If you run for 10 times, then you will lose some energy. If you run for 20 times, if you run for 20 times, if you run for 50 times, 100 times, can you run? What will happen? You will fall down, right? After rounding for 20 times, okay, you are young, energetic boy. You can run for 20 times, 25 times, 50 times. If you run continuously without stopping, your energy will complete or not, right? If you run for 200 times, Kel Katham, right? We will lose our complete energy. We will get tired. We will get tired. Similarly, computer is also having some memory. Computer is also having some energy. That energy is power. RAM capacity is available. If our program is executing 4 lakh times continuously, what about our JVM memory? What about our system resources? They will get heat or not? System will crash or not? System will crash because your program will be, your system will be busy for hours of time. Okay, Infosys is having 4 lakhs. Infosys is having 4 lakhs. If you go for any other company which is having 50 lakh employees, for assume that in the India, all government employees are there. For all government employees, we need to decrease the salary. Kam karega kya wo log? No, Narendra Modi told that for all the government employees, I'm reducing 10% salary because you people are not working properly. So how many government employees are there in the India? Huh? How many government employees are there in the India? Lot of people will be there, right? 20 lakh. I mean, government employee means it can be anything. He may be a teacher, he may be a driver, he may be a conductor, he may be a watchman, or he may be a big hospital. So many things. So many government employees are there. MRO department is available, traveling department, hospital department, revenue department, teaching department, military department, volunteers. Volunteer का कौन बोलेगा भाई employee? Volunteers are not government employees, right? They are Jagananna employees. They are a different category, right? We should not consider them as government employee, right? Tomorrow, if government change, volunteers will come to Hyderabad to learn some courses. Who is working as volunteer in the villages? BTech degree people are, that is their bad luck. After completing BTech and degree, they are doing volunteer post. That means he is killing the education system, employment. That is not the right direction. Right? Tomorrow, if government change, what about the volunteers? They will be on the footpath. Seriously, they can't do anything. From 3-4 years, they are enjoying. They are getting pocket money. Tomorrow, unfortunately, if the government change for them, tomorrow, if other government comes in the AP, volunteers will lose their jobs. If again their government wins, they will have that volunteer job. That depends upon the government. That is not a fixed job for them. So volunteer is not a government job. Right. So now, that is not our story. So government employees are there. If I want to decrease the salary for the government employee, how many times your query should execute? For how many employees we need to update the salary? Assume that there are 50 lakh employees are there in the government in the India. So now, with this logic, what will happen? If I write my logic like this, what will happen? 50 lakh times, our Java program will execute a update query. Every time when I execute a update query, communication should happen between the Java application and the database. Communication should happen between Java application and database. That is bad practice. We should not communicate with the database for those many times. It will kill performance of your application. Are you guys getting my point? So if you write the logic like this, so technically it will work. Whatever the output you are expecting, you will get that output. For every employee, salary will be updated. But the disadvantage is it will decrease performance of the application, because for every employee record, you are updating the salary. For every employee, you are updating the salary. So you are calculating that salary hike in the Java application. You are retrieving all the employees from the database. You are calculating the hike percentage. You are updating the new salary for all the employees one by one, one by one. You are doing that one by one, one by one. Suppose, assume that if 1 crore employees are there in the table, let us take government employee, assume that 1 crore government employees are there in the India. I don't know exact count. I'm telling that assume 1 crore. If 1 crore employees there in the table, how many times our while loop will execute? 1 crore times it has to execute. So while loop, just to while loop is executing. In the while loop, database update query is executing. Database update query is executing. That means our Java application will communicate with the database for 1 crore times. That will kill performance of your application. So technically, this logic is correct, but performance wise, this is not recommended. This logic is not recommended. Able to understand? So if I execute that program, all the employees' salaries will be upgraded as per requirement. But we should write this kind of logic, or we should not write this kind of logic? We should not write this kind of logic. Why we should not write this kind of logic? Because this logic, for every record, it will interact with the database to update that record. If you have 1 lakh records in the table, 1 lakh times your Java application will communicate with the database to update the salary. If you have 10 lakh employee records in the table, 10 lakh times our while loop will execute. 10 lakh times our Java application will communicate with the database. If I have 1 crore records in the table, 1 crore times our while loop will execute. 1 crore times our Java application will communicate with the database. So Java is one language we are using to develop our application. Our application is running in one computer. Database will run in the another computer. So there should be a network call. There should be a network communication between Java application and database. So we should not write logic like this. Are you clear with the problem now? First of all, you got the solution? Yeah, the people who write this solution, I'm not saying that you are bad. You got some idea. That's excellent. So because you are a fresher, as a fresher, writing this logic, we have to appreciate. But with my experience, I'm telling that if you write this logic, it will decrease performance of the application. Technically correct. Technically it is correct. Every employee record salary we are updating with the percentage. Technically correct. But performance wise, not recommended. We need to go for a better solution. Are you clear with my point? Yeah, first note down this logic. Here, 1 minute. Let me complete this logic. 1 second, I will write that in the IDE directly. Online people, you understand the problem? Online people, you understand the problem? What is the problem? What is the problem, Roshni? Network calls will increase. Perfect. You are listening to the class. Yeah. So employee salary hike, EMP hike. My program is EMP hike. Main method. Okay, let me take this. Wait a minute, guys. I'm giving the logic. I will write the logic for that. Employee hike. So I'm taking main method. Here, first we need to retrieve the records from the database table. For that, I'm writing one select query, private static final string, select SQL. Okay. So this is select star from employee. Select star from employee. Perfect. Select star from employee. I'm writing like this. Do we need to load the driver or we no need to load the driver? We no need to load the driver because we are using JDBC driver 4. Directly, can I get the connection? Yeah. Can you tell me the code to get the connection? Driver manager dot get connection. So we need to specify DB URL, DB username, DB password. Okay. So here we are going to get the exception that we are going to write as connection con is equal to driver manager dot get connection. Okay, guys. Now, next one. What is the next step? I got the connection. Con dot create statement. Okay, I'm getting my statement object. With that statement, I will execute my query. Statement dot execute query. We will give select SQL. What is the return type? Result set. Then what I need to do? While rs dot next. I'm getting that. So here I will get rs dot get integer of, I want to get the employee ID. rs dot get employee ID. Okay, with this we got emp ID. Now I want to get the salary also. rs dot get double of emp salary. Listen, you can write later. I will give time. Concentrate on the class. Right? So emp ID I'm getting and salary I'm getting. So this salary is, can I call it as the existing salary? I'm retrieving the existing salary from the database table. How to update the salary? Can you tell me the query to update the salary? Private static final string update salary SQL. Can you tell me the query? Update employee set emp underscore salary is equal to positional parameter. Why I am giving positional parameter? For each employee salary will be different. So for which employee we need to update the salary based on the ID of the employee. So how many positional parameters are there? 2 positional parameters are available. Select star from employee, that is one query which is used to retrieve the data. Update employee set salary is equal to some value where ID is equal to some value. Based on the employee ID, I will update the new salary for the employee. Perfect. Now I want to calculate that salary percentage. From where we are getting the percentage? Percentage we are getting from the keyboard. How to read the data from the keyboard? Scanner. Scanner S is equal to new scanner of system dot in, not out. Okay. System dot in. Now I'm going to read that salary percentage. System dot out dot println enter hike. Enter employee hike. Okay. I'm going to read it. Double hike is equal to s dot next double. How much you will enter? That much I'm storing into my variable. What is the formula to calculate that salary? What is the formula to calculate that? Double new sal is equal to existing sal plus existing sal multiplied by 10 divided by 100. So with this we are getting what? New salary. Now I know the employee ID and I know the new salary. So what is the first positional parameter? Salary. What is the second positional parameter? Employee ID. Now I need to prepare prepared statement. Statement or prepared statement now? Prepared statement. Why prepared statement? Positional parameters are available. Prepared statement PSTMT is equal to con dot prepare statement. Which query? Update salary SQL. Update salary SQL we are giving. Now PSTMT dot set double first value I'm going to set as a new salary. PSTMT dot set int I'm going to set that as a employee ID. Then finally, what we are going to do? PSTMT dot execute update. What is the meaning of execute update? It is going to update the record based on the given query. Based on the given query, it is going to update the record. Perfect. Now, after this loop is completed, then what I will tell? System.out.println update completed. Once the update is completed, then finally we are going to close the connection. All right. So this is our logic, guys. This is our logic to update the salary of the employee based on the given percentage. So now hike existing salary multiplied by hike, not 10. I want to give that as a dynamic value. Existing salary plus existing salary multiplied by hike. If I give 10% multiplied by 10. If I give 20% multiplied by 20. If I give 5% multiplied by 5 divided by 100. Okay, now fine. Let me check my database. Connect with the database. Connect with the database. Use advanced Java DB. Run this program. Sorry, run this. Then select star from employee. Execute the query. Yeah. Can you check the records? 15,000, 16,000, 7,000, 12,000, 16,000 records are available. Let me take a screenshot of this. I'm taking screenshot of this. Now I want to show you the records before update and after update. Okay, these are my employee records. In these employee records, you can see salary of the employee. 15,000 salary available, 16,000, 7,000, 12,000, 16,000 salary is available. Okay, now let me run my program. When I run my program, it will ask me hike. I will give 10%. Then it is going to retrieve all the records. For each record, it will get the ID, it will get the salary. Then it is going to update that salary. Then it is going to close the connection. All right, let me run this program. Run as Java application. Run as a Java application. Hike it is asking. I'm giving as 10. Yeah, my program is executing. Update completed. Go to database. Execute that query. Now I have executed that query. Now let me take the screenshot of this. Let me take the screenshot of this and compare old salary and a new salary, guys. Old salary and a new salary. The record salaries are updated or not? Salaries are updated or not? Yes. 15,000 salary available for John. Now it will become 16,500. That means how much hike added? 1,500 hike is added. So Smith is having 16,000. Now for the Smith, how much it got? 17,600. That means he got the 1,600 as the hike. 7,000 available for Anil. 700 he got as the 10% hike. Similarly, Rose, 12,000. 1,200 is the hike for her. That became 13,200. For Kathy, 16,000. 1,600 hike she got. 10% of the salary. That became 17,600. So program is working as expected or not? Technically, our logic is correct or not? Technically, our logic is correct. But this logic is recommended or not recommended? Not recommended. Why not recommended? Performance issue. For every employee, one update query should execute. If I have 1,000 employees, 1,000 times my query will execute. If I have 1 lakh employees, 1 lakh times my query is going to execute. It will decrease performance of the application. Are you guys able to follow my point? So now, sir, then how to resolve this problem? How to resolve this problem? If you write business logic in the Java program, then definitely for every record, the communication should happen between Java application and database. Java application and database. For every record, if you want to execute the logic for every record, then the performance is going to decrease. Now, sir, how can we do this logic easily? That person has done that. Yes, man. What's your name? Sai has written the correct logic for this requirement. Sai did not take any while loop. He is able to update the salary of all the employees with a single query. With only one-time communication, his implementation will update the records for 1 lakh employees also, for 1 crore employees also. Just Java program will communicate with the database only one time. But whatever the logic we have, for every employee, my program will communicate with the database. Instead of doing like this, you can directly write a query like this. Update employee, set employee salary is equal to employee salary plus employee underscore salary multiplied by positional parameter divided by 100. That's it. Right. If I execute this query, what will happen? Entire table will be updated in the single shot. Entire table will be updated in the single shot. So now my database table is having 1 lakh records. I execute this query from the Java. How many times my Java program will communicate with the database? One time. Salary will be updated for all the employees or not? Yes. So what is the difference between this logic and this logic? What is the difference? What is the difference? Both are correct only. Both are correct only. Which one is recommended? Second one. So in the second one, I will directly execute the update query. I no need to give the employee ID also. Do I need to give the employee ID? Not required. So I'm going to execute update employee, set the employee salary is equal to existing salary plus existing salary multiplied by given hike percentage divided by 100. So now where the business logic will execute? Salary calculation executing in the Java program. Salary calculation is executing in the database. Salary calculation is executing at the database. With a single query, 1 crore records also we can update. With a single query, 1 crore records also we can update. So now, if you see this program, where the salary calculation logic available? In the Java program. Salary calculation logic available in the Java program. If a salary calculation logic, if you write in the Java program, number of times Java program should communicate with the database will increase like anything. If you have 1 crore records, 1 crore times it has to interact with the database to update. Instead of writing that business logic in the Java program, we are writing the business logic to execute at the database only. Then we can improve performance of the application. Just with one time, just with one query, we can update complete table data. So that is the difference. Business logic, if you write in the Java, number of times communications will increase. Then it will decrease the performance. If you write that salary calculation part in the database itself, with a single communication, complete records will update. Are you clear with my point? Technically, both are correct. But performance-wise, this is recommended. Are you getting my point? Got it? You understand the difference now? Practically, yeah. So, anybody who has done that, first logic also, we need to clap for them. They're able to think and they're able to write it. Yeah, come on, tali maro. Good. And Sai ke liye, jor se marna. Sai has implemented this query. That means with the one time, if his program will execute one query, with the one query, the requirement will complete. All the employee records will be updated with the new salary. Clear, guys? Any questions, anybody? Anybody not able to understand? The next point I will come to that. Now, for every employee, we are giving 10%. Now, what I will change the requirement. The people who are having above 5 years experience in the company, for them I am giving 10%. The people who are having experience 1 to 3 years, I will give them only 7%. For freshers, people who joined less than 1 year, I will give 2%. You understand, right? So in this example, I'm giving fixed hike for every employee. Next requirement, based on the years of experience, I will change the salary hike. That requirement also we will develop. So with this requirement, are you clear? First approach, second approach. Technically both are correct, but performance wise, this is recommended. Okay? Yeah, right. Next, note down. Take this code. Take this code. Make it fast. Sir, you understand. By this time, you should get that. Whatever the requirement you developed day before yesterday, today, all are same, all are different. JDBC programs only, 5 lines of code only, but logic is different. So now, by this time, you should understand, if you buttify the code, you will not become a programmer. Ratta mat marna. Hindi wala, ratta. Telugu, batti. Same word. Ratta mat marna. Batti cheyoddu. If you do batti, you will survive only one day. Tomorrow, no, new requirement. Every day new requirement. You have seen from last 3 days, every day new requirement is coming. Note down that. Online people understood the difference. Understood the difference, guys. Iqbal, you got the clarity. First approach, second approach. Good. Some people will join the class at regular time, 5 o'clock. Yesterday I told that class at 4 o'clock. I sent a reminder in the WhatsApp also. Guys, how many of you know the difference between probation period and a notice period in the company? Probation period means training period. Training idhar ho raha hai na? Correct. Today I'm going to upload one video on that. What is probation period and what is notice period? That is very important for the freshers. You need to go through that video. What is probation period? What is notice period in the company? Today at 9 o'clock, I will upload that video in the YouTube. You understand the difference between them. It is important. Yeah, make it fast, quick. Note down. You guys need to improve logical thinking, guys. If you do the coaching in all the institutes available in Amirpet also, you will not get good subject. The only thing is you need to think. If you do course for 2 years also, no use. If you don't improve the logical thinking. You need to do lot of exercises. not just copy paste. You need to understand how I'm writing that code. Completed? Completed, guys. Yeah. In the above program, we have implemented logic. In the above program, we have implemented the logic at Java side. In the above program, we have implemented logic in the Java program. In the above program, we implemented the logic. We implemented the logic at Java side. At Java side to increase the salary of employees. In the above program, we implemented the logic at the Java side to increase the salary of the employees. For every employee, for every employee, for every employee, for every employee, one update query will execute. For every employee, one update query will execute. For every employee, one update query will execute to update salary with hike. For every employee, one update query will execute to update salary with hike. To update salary with hike. If we have 1 lakh records, if we have 1 lakh records, if we have 1 lakh records in the table, if we have 1 lakh records in the table, then 1 lakh times, then 1 lakh times update query will execute. 1 lakh times update query will execute. One lakh times update query will execute. If we have 1 crore, 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 then 1 crore times, then 1 crore times, then 1 crore times 1 crore times update query will execute. Update query will execute. Which will decrease performance of the application. Which will decrease performance of the application. Which will decrease performance of the application. To overcome this problem, to overcome that problem, we can use below approach. To overcome that problem, we can use below approach. To overcome that problem, we can use below approach. So, what is the new logic, guys? What is the new logic? Do I need to retrieve all the records? Not required. So in the update employee, set employee salary is equal to EMP salary plus EMP salary multiplied by positional parameter divided by 100. Where? Not required, right? So update employee, set employee salary is equal to salary plus salary multiplied by percentage of hike divided by 100. So new salary will be updated. Existing salary plus hike. So that will become new salary. So this is going to be our update query. Let me do this. We no need to write if, while condition, all this stuff. This also not required. Prepared statement. We are going to do the prepared statement like this. So string update SQL, PSTMT. I'm going to write PSTMT dot set double. What I will set? Hike. How many parameters available? Only one parameter is available. Finally, I'm going to call PSTMT dot execute update. Okay, so with this, how many times our query is executing? How many times our Java application will communicate with the database? Only one time. How many records will update? Any number of records. So 1000 records, 10,000 records, 1 crore, 2 crores, 10 crores also. Any number of records available in the database, with a single query, those records will update in the database. So business logic is executing at the Java side. Business logic is executing at the database side. If business logic is executed at the Java side, what is the problem? number of communications, number of round trips will increase. If number of round trips increases, performance will decrease. Are you clear? Yes. Approach 2, take this code. Approach 2, take this code. You can take up to here. That's it. Just 5 lines of code. Approach 2. Approach 2. Approach 2. Completed. In this, with the above code, with the above code, with the above code, in single shot, in the above code, in single shot, in the above code, in single shot, we can update the salary for all the employees. In the above code, with a single shot, we can update all the employees' salary. With the above code, in the single shot, all the employee salaries will be updated. In the above code, in single shot, all the employee salaries will be updated because business logic will execute at the database. Because business logic will execute at database. Because business logic will execute at database. because business logic will execute at the database. So just read the two programs, check it, the code difference. You got the two approaches, first approach and second approach. Which one is recommended? Second approach. Why second approach is recommended? In the single shot, only one time query will execute, all the records will be updated at the database. In the first approach, calculation is available at the Java. For every record, it has to communicate with the database. If a number of round trips increase, performance will be decreased. Okay, next requirement. Develop, yeah, I will write it. Requirement. Develop JDBC application. Develop JDBC application. Develop JDBC application to increase employees' salary. Develop JDBC application to increase employees' salary based on department. Based on department. Read the hike percentage. Read hike percentage for each department. For each department from keyboard. And then update salary with a given percentage. Develop JDBC application to increase employees' salary based on department. Read a hike percentage for each department from keyboard and then update salary with a given percentage. You got my point? So, how many departments we have in the database? Admin department, HR department, security department, sales department. For example, whenever I run the program should ask me how much a hike for the sales department. For sales, I will give 3%. Okay, this year sales is not good in our company. Sales team did not work properly. I'm giving only 3%. Okay, next one, HR department. HR people worked very hard. They recruited so many people. I want to give them 8%. Okay, next one, admin department is available. For admin department, I want to give 9%. Security department, for them, I want to give 10%. For all the security people, salary should be increased by 10%. Sales team should be increased by 3%. HR team should be increased by give 8%. So based on the department, you need to increase the salary of the employees. Okay, guys, you understand the requirement? Yeah. Now you need to do it. It is classwork. You no need to write connection and all. I want you to write the direct query and how to execute that query. Think and write it now. I'm giving you 10 minutes of time. Now apply your brain, think and write it. Which query we need to execute? How you need to write the query? You no need to write class, main method, driver manager dot get connection. I don't need it. Directly take a statement, con dot statement. Then execute the query. Which query you will execute and how you will update the salary of all the employees based on the given hike percentage. Think and write it. Logic. 10 minutes of time. 10 minutes of time. Apply your brain and do it. If I explain, you will feel it is easy. First, you need to think, you need to do it on your own. If you are wrong, no problem. I will correct it. Everybody should apply their brain and they should come up with the logic. Everybody should apply their brain, they should come up with the logic. Develop JDBC application to increase employees' salary based on department. Read hike percentage for each department from keyboard and then update salary with given percentage. Formula is very simple. Formula. New salary is equal to existing salary. New salary is equal to existing salary plus existing salary multiplied by hike percentage divided by 100. With this formula, you need to do it. Think and do it. 10 minutes time. Online people also think and do it. This is the task for you people. Ladies, you should complete first now. Think, think and do it. Only boys are showing the code. You guys are not showing. Think and write the logic. Guys, JDBC difficult or analysis is difficult? JDBC is easy, just 5 lines of code only. But our analysis is important. What kind of requirement will come? How to write logic for that. It is just matter of if condition. That's it. How to use if conditions. How to use if condition. That's important. That's it. Arigate Tony, your logic is wrong, right? It is wrong. Think, think. You got the requirement clarity? Anybody not able to understand the requirement? Department wise, I will give the hike that you need to update. Earlier, for all the employees, I have given the single hike. Now, department wise, hike will change. Department wise, hike will change. Any luck, online students? No. Roshni, your logic is incorrect. Sudha, your logic is incorrect. You are updating the department also. Department you are giving as input. But this will update only for one department, right, Roshni? I want to update for all the departments. Your logic will update for only one department. Done? Yeah, correct. Correct. She did it. This time ladies first. कोई बॉय है क्या? Abhishek. I want complete code, man, not just one line. Jagadish, I want complete code, not just one line.
We take index and increment the index until the index is not null.
Why index we need? Why we need index?
Index
Not required, no?
for department or each department.
No. Index we don't need it. It would correct, incorrect. Department wise, you need to update the salary. Department wise, the hike will be different. Madam, can you switch on that fan? Why switch on karo? Why no fan is switched on? That one also, backside wala. Utilize the resources, guys. Saving current, huh? Arey yaar. You can pay 1,000 fees extra, no problem. We'll take it. That one also, backside. Prakash Mishra, sir, do you have data science course? No. Completed, guys. No? Anyone? समझ में नहीं आ रहा? क्या प्रॉब्लम है? क्या समझ में नहीं आ रहा? क्या समझ में नहीं आ रहा? What you are not able to understand? Query. Where are you from? Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Bhopal. Satna. Madhya Pradesh. Okay. Bhopal is Madhya Pradesh only. Bhopal indoor. Satna local है यार. Satna local है. Okay. Our digital marketing engineer from Satna only. He is working from home. And earlier we have 2 trainers from Satna. Anand was there for data structure. He is from Satna. He is from Satna. Srishti, she is also from Satna. They are our trainers. They are also from Satna city.
the departments and then remember.
Why department will be null? Always department will come now. For the department only we need to update. Yeah, we will ask department and hike. No. Directly you can ask na, enter salary for sales department. They will give the value. Enter the salary for admin department. Enter the salary for HR department. Directly they will enter only hike percentages. If there are 3 departments, only one time ask, that's it, not every time. Should I write it? हो गया? Sharanya has done that. Let us see. Sharanya, 1 minute, I'm checking. What is her file name? ये क्या है? WhatsApp chat भेजा तो. Okay, she has sent the program in that. No, I'm not able to open that file. I'm not able to open that file. Okay, fine. Okay, guys, now let us see. So first we need to read the salary department wise. Got it? Yeah. Now let us take enter employee hike for HR department. Right now, here I'm going to take it as HR hike. HR department hike, I'm going to take it. HR department hike. Similarly, can we take the hike for sales department? Yes. Enter employee hike for sales department. Now I'm going to take it as sales department hike. Similarly, let us take the hike for admin department. Let me take it as admin department hike. Admin department hike I'm taking. Similarly, we have security department. Enter employee hike for security department. Okay, let me take it as security department hike. That means for every department we are reading the hike from the keyboard. So observe what happened here. 1 minute. Online people, yeah, can you see my screen now? Online people, can you see the screen now? Yes, perfect. So here I'm reading hike for HR department, enter employee hike for HR department. I'm storing that into a variable. I'm reading hike for sales department. I'm reading that and storing into a variable. Then I'm reading hike for admin department. I'm storing into a variable. Enter hike for security department. I'm reading in the variable. Now here salary is a common for all the employees, or salary hike will change from department to department. It will change from department to department. With a single query execution, can we do that? With a single query execution, can we do that? No. Why? Because different departments are available. Department wise, percentage is going to change. With a single query, can we update the salary for the employees now? No. With a single query, we cannot do it. So what we need to do is, I am taking where EMP department is equal to positional parameter. How many positional parameters I'm taking in the query? Employee set salary is equal to EMP salary plus salary multiplied by hike divided by 100, where department is equal to given value. So in my update query, how many positional parameters available? How many positional parameters available? 2 positional parameters available. Why 2 positional parameters? One is used to set the new salary, another one is used to set the department also. Okay. Now I want to set this value and I want to execute that query. I am going to set like this: prepared statement PSTMT is equal to con.prepare statement. I'm giving update query. Here I need to give if department dot equals to, what I need to take is, I need to check if it is equals to sales department, then I need to execute one query. Department wise queries should be executed. Department wise queries should be executed. Got my point? Now here I need to write a condition. If condition satisfied, okay, then what I will do, I'm going to set this value, set the salary hike. I need to set it. Hike I need to set it. So assume that what is the first department? First department I'm reading as a HR department. Now, if a HR department, I'm going to take here, I'm going to set HR department hike. HR department hike. I'm going to set that value and I'm going to set PSTMT dot set a string of 2, that department name I'm going to give as HR. Department name I'm going to give as a HR. So what this will do, it will update the employee salaries based on the given salary hike based on the department as HR. So now if I execute query like this, it will update which employees? It will update which employees? Only HR employees it is going to update. Now, second time, what I am going to do here? Here I am going to take set a double as admin department hike. I'm going to set the department name as admin. So what this query will do? What this query will do? So when I execute this, how many records will update? Only HR records will update. Where department is equal to HR I am giving. For the department HR, what is the salary hike I am setting? HR department hike I am setting. So similarly, I'm going to write like this here. Here I'm going to specify sales department hike and I will set the department name as sales. HR, admin, sales, and what is the another department we have? Security. So I'm going to specify security department hike and department as security. So how many times the query will execute? How many times query will execute? 4 times. For HR department, what is the hike I am giving? HR department hike I am reading from the keyboard. So calculation will happen at the Java. Calculation will happen at the database. Calculation will happen at the Java, or calculation will happen at the database. Calculation will happen at the database. So this will execute a query to update the HR department employees. This will execute a query to update admin department employees. This will execute a query to update sales department employees. This will execute a query to update security department employees. So for every department, hike is different or hike is the same? Hike is different. So we need to write the code like this. Got it? So with one query, can I achieve that? Why I can't achieve that with one query? Why I can't achieve this requirement with one query? If I execute query one time, can we achieve this requirement? No. Why? Percentage is different based on the department. That means for every department, we need to execute the query. Where department is equal to HR, salary is equal to the hike of the HR department. Where sales department, for the sales department, we need to execute the query. For security department, we need to execute the query. For admin department, we need to execute the query. Understand my point? Okay. Suppose if I have 500 departments in my company, if I have 500 departments in my company, how many times we need to execute the query? 500 times we need to execute the query. Are you guys able to follow my, understand my requirement? So is it recommended? Not recommended. Not recommended. Why not recommended? This is one solution or not? Technically, this is one solution or not? Yes or no? Technically, this is one solution. So I'm telling both sides of the coin. As a fresher, how you need to think. As an experience, how we will think. So I'm telling you both. How freshers will think while writing the code, how experienced people will think while writing the code. Now, as a fresher, some people may think like this. For every department, we will execute a query. Technically, this is correct. It will solve our problem. But when we think in the real time, if I write a code like this, will they accept or they will not accept? They will not accept. Why? Performance issue. Because we are writing the logic at the Java side to update the salary of the employees based on the department. Okay. Without writing the logic at the Java side, if we want to complete this requirement, we need to write the logic at the database. Where we need to write the logic, guys? Database. How we are writing the logic in the Java, in the same way, we can write the logic at the database. My Java program should execute the query one time. In the database, all the records of salary should be updated based on the department. That's where procedures comes into picture. What is the concept, guys? Procedure. What is a procedure? It is a database program. As of now, we are writing Java programs. We are writing the logic in the Java. If I write the logic in the Java, so many times my Java application should communicate with the database. If our Java application communicate with the database for multiple times, traffic will increase and application will become slow. To overcome that problem, we should write the business logic at the Java database side. Our Java program should call the database program. Database program will execute in the database. It will complete the update operation. So we need to go for procedure concept. Without using procedure, you cannot do that at the database. If you don't want to use the procedure, if you don't want to write the logic at the database, you need to write the logic in the Java. If you write the logic in the Java, what is the problem? Communication. So many times our Java application should communicate with the database, which will decrease the performance of the application. Okay, guys. So here, whatever the department wise salary we are updating, that business logic, Instead of I am writing in the Java, I will write in the database. If I write that logic in the database, my Java program will call the database program. If my Java program call the database program, what database program will do? It will update the records department wise. Whatever the if conditions, else conditions, while conditions we are writing in the Java, same thing I will write in the database. That is called procedure. Procedure nothing but set of SQL statements which we will execute in the database. In the Java, we are writing the methods. Similarly, in the database, we can write the procedure. What is the advantage of writing a procedure? Business logic I will execute in the database. Then what my Java will do? My Java will call the procedure by using callable statement. What is that, guys? Callable statement. So there are three types of statements in the JDBC. What are those three types of statements? One is a callable statement, prepared statement, statement. We already discussed about statement and prepared statement. What is the statement? What is the statement? Statement is used to execute the SQL queries, both select queries and non-select queries. When to go for statement? When to go for statement? If you have a static query, what is a prepared statement? Dynamic query. I want to execute a same query with multiple values, or I want to execute query with the dynamic values. Then I will go for prepared statement. If you go for statement or prepared statement, they will execute the query. But I don't want to execute the query. I want to execute a procedure. What is the meaning of a procedure? What is the meaning of procedure? Procedure means a database program. Whatever the salary I want to update department wise, that logic I can write in the Java, I can write in the database. If I write in the Java, what is the problem? What is the problem? For every department, we need to communicate with the database. For a security department, one query execute. For HR department, one query should execute because where condition is changing, right? For admin department, one query will execute. I have 1,000 departments in my company. In the government, in the Indian government, how many departments are there? Hospital department, revenue department, teaching department, school department, n number of departments are available in the government. Assume that in the Indian government, there are 2,000 departments available. So they want to give the salary hike for 2,000 departments. Department wise, the hike is different. How many times the Java program should communicate with the database? 2,000 times. Recommended or not recommended? Not recommended. Then what I will do? Whatever the logic is required, that logic I will write in the database. That is called procedure. Then what my Java will do? Java will send the information to the database program. Hey database, for employee department, these are the inputs. For admin department, 10%. For security department, 8%. Sales department, 3%. My Java program will give department wise hike information to database in the single query, in the procedure. Where the logic will execute? Logic will execute at the database. What is the advantage? Only one time our Java program will communicate with the database. Are you clear? So what we need to understand now? How to write the procedures. We are writing a Java program. We are executing the query. One query, two query, three queries you can execute. But we can't execute 2,000 queries, right? We can't execute 5,000 queries, right? So that's why we need to write as much as possible. It's better to write the business logic at the database. So Java program should call the database program. Business logic should execute at the database. Then Java program will communicate with the database only one time. Then application performance will improve. Are you guys getting my point? Yeah, take this logic. Online people, you understand the requirement? Online people, you understand the problem with this. For every department, one query should be executed. If I have 2,000 departments, 2,000 queries should be executed. So is this recommended logic or not recommended logic? Technically correct, But recommended or not recommended? Not recommended. What is recommended logic? Procedure. Recommended logic is a procedure. What is a procedure? Program at the database. Set of SQL statements is called as procedure. Guys, you are able to understand, or we are going too much depth? Do you want me to teach like other trainers? Insert, update, delete, JDBC completed. No? I hope you are getting some maturity, some change in your mindset, how to think. People who joined at 5 o'clock, you missed 1 hour session today. I told you yesterday, class at 4 o'clock. Sir, when are you starting new DevOps batch? February 1st at 7 a.m. My DevOps batch will start. Yesterday I announced the date. Poster will release tomorrow. Sir, I think one day you will make all of us James Gosling. Arre yaar. Programming is a fun, guys. If you enjoy that, it is a fun. You need to enjoy that. Don't scare about the programming. Once you start understanding the programming, it is a fun to write the code. I will really enjoy when I am writing the code. Guys, you got the logic. Earlier, I gave you 15 minutes of time. You are not able to think. So now, after seeing the solution, are you feeling it difficult or easy? Easy. So thinking has to improve. Logical thinking has to improve. Completed? Yeah. Next, write it. In the above program, department wise hike will be decided. In the above program, department wise hike will be decided. In the above program, department wise hike will be decided. So for every department in the above program, department wise hike will be decided. So for every department, we need to execute. For every department, we need to execute one update query. In the above program, department wise hike will be decided. So for every department, we need to execute one update query. Next point. If we have 500 departments, in company, if we have 500 departments in the company, then our Java program, if we have 500 departments in the company, then our Java program should interact with the database for 500 times. If we have 500 departments in the company, then our Java program should communicate with the database for 500 times to execute 500 update queries. If we have 500 departments in our company, then our Java program should communicate with the database for 500 times to execute 500 update queries. To execute 500 update queries. To execute 500 update queries. If we have 500 departments in the company, then our Java program should communicate with the database for 500 times to execute 500 update queries. It is not at all recommended because it will decrease performance of the application. It is not at all recommended because it will decrease performance of the application. It is not at all recommended because it will decrease performance of the application. It is not at all recommended because it will decrease performance of the application. Note. If you have so many database calls from Java, if we have so many database calls from Java, if we have so many database calls from Java, then network traffic will increase. Network traffic will increase between Java and database. If we have so many database calls from Java, then network traffic will increase between Java and database. Network traffic will increase between Java and database, which will reduce performance of the application. If we have so many database calls in the Java, then network traffic will increase between Java and database, which will reduce performance of the application. To avoid this problem, we need to write the business logic at the database. To avoid this problem, we need to write the business logic at the database. To avoid this problem, we need to write business logic at the database by using procedures. To avoid this problem, we need to write the business logic at the database by using procedures. To avoid this problem, we need to write the business logic at the database by using procedure. Next point. Procedure means a database program. Procedure means a database program. Procedure means a database program which will have set of SQL statements. Procedure means a database program which will have set of SQL statements, to perform one or more operations. Procedure means a database program which will contain set of SQL statements to perform one or more operation. Next point. From the Java application, we will call the procedure. Then procedure will execute at database. Hello, madam. What is your notes? Where is your notes? Why? You are new. First class? Okay. Yeah. From the Java application, we will call the procedure. Then procedure will execute at the database. From the Java program, we will call the procedure. Then procedure will execute at the database, will complete the logic execution at the database only. From the Java, we will call the procedure. Then procedure will execute at the database, will complete the operation. From the Java application, we will call the procedure. Procedure will execute at the database and will perform the operation. So now for 2000 employees, I want to update the salary. How many times our Java should communicate with the database? 2000 records are there in the table. There are from multiple departments. I want to update the salary department wise. 500 departments available. So is it recommended to write the logic at the Java side or recommended to write the logic at the database side? If I write at the Java side, what is the problem? For every department, our Java should communicate with the database. So if I communicate with the database for 500 times, what is the problem? Database calls will increase. 500 times network calls will happen between Java and database, which is recommended or not recommended? Not recommended. Why not recommended? It will decrease performance of the application. Then how to improve performance of the application? You write the logic at the database by using a database program. What is the meaning of database program? Procedure. I will write the logic in the procedure. If I write the logic in the procedure, Java application will call the procedure. Then where the logic will execute? Logic will execute in the database only. How many times Java will communicate with the database to update the salaries department wise? One time. Just my Java will call the database procedure. Procedure logic will execute at the database only. So with the procedure, we are reducing the number of DB calls or we are increasing number of DB calls? We are reducing the number of DB calls. If you reduce the number of DB calls, then performance will increase. Are you clear? Next point. By writing the procedures in the database, by writing procedures in the database, we can reduce number of calls between Java and database. By writing procedures in the database, we can reduce by writing procedures in the database. We can reduce number of calls between. By writing the procedures, we can reduce number of calls between Java and database. By writing the procedures, we can reduce number of calls between Java and database. Next point, to call the procedures, we will use callable statement. To call the procedures, we will use callable statement. To call the procedures, we will use callable statement. So now you got the clarity. What is the statement? Prepared statement, callable statement. When to go for callable statement? When to go for callable statement? When we want to execute a procedure, then we will go for callable statement. What is a procedure? Set of SQL statements which will execute in the database to perform one or more operation. Whatever the logic I am writing to update the employee's salary in the Java, same logic I will write in the database by using procedure. So from the Java, I will call the procedure. Where procedure will execute? Procedure will execute in the database. How many times Java will call the procedure? Only one time. So for 1 lakh employees, how many times we are communicating with the database? Only one time. So that's why we will use the procedures to write the business logic at the database. Fine. How to call the procedures in the Java? To call the procedures in the Java, we will go for callable statement. How many types of statements available in the JDBC? 3 types of statements available in the JDBC. Callable statement, prepared statement, statement. So now, when to go for statement, when to go for prepared statement, when to go for callable statement? Come on. Statement is used to execute our static SQL queries without dynamic values. If your query is static always, select star from table name. That's it. Nothing else. Select star from table name. There is no input for the query. Always the same query will execute. Then we can go for statement. Suppose my query will execute with different values. Same query with different values. Then we should go for prepared statement, because prepared statement will support for positional parameters. What is the purpose of positional parameters? To set the values for the query dynamically. Then I want to go for callable statement. When should I go for callable statement? When should I go for callable statement? If you want to execute a procedure. What is a procedure? What is a procedure? Procedure nothing but set of SQL statements which are used to perform one or more operation. How we are writing the Java program? Now we are called as a Java developers. Who is called as a Java developer? Who will write the programs in the Java? Similarly, PLSQL developers are available in the market. What those PLSQL developers will do? They will write the programs in the database. How we are writing a Java program, they will write a SQL program, PLSQL. So that is called as a procedure. We have data types in the Java. They have data types in the SQL. We have methods in the Java. They have functions in the procedure, right? So now our Java method can take the input, can give the output. Similarly, procedure also can take the input, procedure also can give the output. So just remember, we have the methods in the Java and they have procedures in the database. Our method will have a name, procedure will have a name. Our method can have input, a procedure can have the input. Our method can have the output, procedure can have the output. Exactly how we are writing the Java methods to perform the operation, database team will write the procedure to perform the operation at the database. Are you guys getting my point? Yes, right. Now, so Before going to start callable statement, first we need to understand how to write a procedure in the database, how to execute the procedure in the database. Then we will go for how to use the callable statement to call that procedure. Are you guys clear? Yeah. What is procedure? What is a procedure? Procedure means it is like a program. Is it a Java program or a database program? Database program. Procedure is a database program which will contain set of SQL statements to perform one or more operations. What is the advantage of writing the logic in the procedure instead of writing in the Java? If I write the logic in the Java, for every record, my Java should communicate with the database, which will reduce performance. If I write the logic in the database, my Java will just call the procedure. Procedure will execute in the database, will return the final result. Can we reduce the communications between the Java and database? Yes. If I reduce the communications, then my application performance will increase. Are you guys clear? Simple example, you are booking a ticket in the IRCTC. IRCTC taking 10 minutes to book the ticket. Make My Trip is taking 1 minute to book the ticket. Next time you will go to Make My Trip or IRCTC. Why? Performance is very important for the application. You are using Flipkart and Amazon. Now, simple example. If you book a mobile in the Amazon, they will deliver within 24 hours. All right, some products Amazon is super fast in delivery. From the last 1 year, they are super fast in the delivery. If I book mobile now, by tomorrow 9 o'clock I will receive the mobile. That much system, that super fast system is there. If I book a mobile in the Flipkart, 3 days or 1 week, 3 to 1 week, 3 days to 1 week they are taking. But Amazon 12 hours. So customers will prefer Amazon or Flipkart. Amazon. Same concept applicable for our software applications also. If our application performance is bad, will customers like to use our application? No. From now onwards, not about writing the logic. We need to think about performance also. We need to execute our code quickly. Our task, our operation should complete quickly by reducing number of database calls between the Java and the database. 1,000 times if my program want to communicate with the database, 1,000 times it has to execute the query. Database is in one system, Java is in one system. Communication should happen through network, internet connections. It will become slow. Application performance will be affected. That's why we will go for procedures. Are you clear with my point? Anybody having questions? Online people, you understand? Online people, you understand why we are going for procedure? Nobody responding. You understand? Only 3 people responded. Sharanya, Roshni, Hitesh. What about remaining people sleeping? Abhishek, Nitin, Pavan. Procedures means logic will be available in the database only. Our Java application should call the procedure only one time. Next point. Next point. Note. Procedures are equal to our Java methods. Procedures are equal to our Java methods. Procedures are equal to our Java methods. Next point. Procedure will have a name. Procedure will have a name. Procedure will have a name. Procedure will take input. Procedure will have a name. Procedure will have a name. Procedure will have a name. Procedure will take input, and procedure may or may not return the output. Is it mandatory that Java methods should return the value? Java methods. Is it mandatory to return a value from the Java method? Optional. If I don't want return, void, right? Method may take input, may not take input. Method may return output, may not return output, right? Similarly, procedure can take the input, can return the output. But returning the output, taking the input, not mandatory. Depends on the requirement. We can take an input for the procedure. Depends on the requirement. We can return output from the procedure, but it is not mandatory. So procedures are equal to Java methods. Procedure will have a name. Procedure can take the input. Procedure can give the output. But taking the input, giving the output, not mandatory. It depends upon the requirement. Note down that. Procedures are equal to Java methods. Procedures are equal to Java methods. Procedure can take an input. Procedure may or may not give the output. Note, for procedure, input and output is not mandatory. For procedures, input and output is not mandatory. For procedure, input and output is not mandatory. For procedure, input and output is not mandatory. Got it? Syntax to create the procedure. Syntax to create procedure. Syntax to create the procedure. Create procedure. Procedure name. Begin. SQL statements. End. Create procedure, procedure name, begin, SQL statements, end. So this is the syntax to create a procedure. Okay, like this. 1 minute, guys. Here you can specify params. Params. A procedure can have the parameters. Create procedure, procedure name. For that procedure, we can give the parameters begin, end. Between the begin and SQL queries. How many SQL queries? Any number. Set of SQL statements you can write to perform the operation. That is the syntax to create a procedure. Next point. For procedure, we can take a procedure can have 3 types of parameters. A procedure can have 3 types of parameters. One is in parameter, second one is out parameter, third one is in out parameter. In represents input variable, represents input. Out represents output. Represents output. Represents both input and output. Got it now? In means it represents input. Out means it represents output. In out means it represents both input and output. It is similar to Java. Java method can take parameters, method can return the value. Similarly, procedure also can take the input, procedure can give the output. Taking input and output mandatory or it is optional? Optional. Depends upon the requirement. We can take the input and we can give the output. Perfect. So just read the theory about what is a procedure. Just read the theory. What is procedure? You got the clarity, guys? So what is a procedure? Procedure is a database program which will contain set of SQL statements to perform one or more operations, right? So a procedure can have parameter. Parameter means it can be an input parameter, it can be output parameter, it can be in-out parameter. If you want to take only input, then you will take in parameter. If you want to give only output, you will go for out parameter. If you want to take both input and output, then you will go for in-out parameter. That means a variable can be used for input, variable can be used for output, variable can be used for input and output also. Are you clear? Yes. Can we write one procedure and can we call from the database? For first procedure, I am not going to take any input, any output. Just one normal procedure I will write and I will show you how to call that procedure from the Java. How to call a procedure from the Java? How to call a procedure from the Java? To call a procedure from the Java, we will use statement, prepared statement or callable statement. We are going to use callable statement. Are you clear with my point? Yeah. So let me write a procedure. Create procedure, get books data. What is my procedure, guys? Get books data. What is the meaning of get books data? This is a kind of a method. In the Java, we will write the methods, right? In the database, we are going to write the procedure. So now, for the procedure, if you want to give any input, you need to specify the parameter. But first procedure, no input, no output. Create procedure, get to books data. I will write this as begin. Now, SQL statement, select the star from books. I will write end. That's it. Okay. Do you remember syntax of the procedure? What is the syntax? Create procedure, procedure name, parameters. I'm not taking any parameters. Then begin represents start point of the procedure. End will represent end point, end of the procedure. Between the begin and end, what we are writing? SQL statements. Now, is my procedure available with respect to the syntax of that? Yes. Create procedure. Procedure name is get books data. Name can be anything. Create procedure, procedure name. Begin and select star from books. So that means when I call this procedure, this query will be executed. When I call this procedure, this query will be executed and it will return the result. End. What is the meaning of end? My procedure is completed here. My procedure is completed here. Now, once we execute this procedure, begin end, I want to call the procedure. How to call the procedure? Procedure name is available. Books to data. In the database, I will write a procedure like this. After creating the procedure, that procedure I can call from the database directly like this. First, I will write a procedure in the database and I will call from the database directly. After that, we will go for Java. From the Java, we are going to call the procedure. Are you clear with the syntax now? Yes. What is the syntax? Create procedure, procedure name. Begin, select star from books, end. Take this. Go to database. Go to database. This is my procedure. Create procedure, get books data. This is my procedure. Begin, end, select star from books or book. What is the table we have? Let me check it here. Books available. Select a star from books table is available. Delimiter. Delimiter, I'm specifying the here. My procedure is starting from here. My procedure is ending here. What is the name? Get books data. Run this. Now, can you see my procedure is created? My procedure is created. What is the name? Get books data. So here, delimiter will represent that. From this, my procedure is getting started. Here, my procedure is getting ended. So this is my procedure. Remove this, commit it. I'm going to commit my procedure. Committed. What is the name of the procedure? Get books data. So now call this procedure from the database. Get books data. Get books data. So now you have error. Check the manual code correctly. Get books data. Is it correct? Delimiter. Create procedure with procedure name. Begin. Select the star from books and get books data. Call get books data. Yes. Am I able to call the procedure now? So when I call the procedure, what happened? Is it executing or not? Am I executing a select query or am executing a procedure? I'm executing a procedure. Inside that procedure, SQL query is available. So in that procedure, can I write a business logic here? Now I am writing a select query. Can I write a update query also? Can I write a update query? Can I write a delete query? Yes, you can write whatever you want. Now here I am calling the procedure. This is a procedure to retrieve all the book records from the table. So this is used to call the procedure from the database directly. Take this, call get books data, run it. When I run it, what happened? My procedure is executed. It has returned all the data. So we are able to write a procedure and we are able to call the procedure. Now, procedure without in and out parameters. Procedure without in and out parameters. Calling procedure in workbench. Calling the procedure from workbench directly. Note down this. If you are clear with this, now we will write a Java program to call the procedure. With that, we will complete our session for today. Guys, from tomorrow holidays now, that's why I'm taking long class. Feeling bored, huh? No? Completed, guys. So what is the next step now? Where is the procedure now? In the database. So from the Java, we should call it. So which concept we need to use to call the procedure from the database? We need to use callable statement. We need to use callable statement. Does this procedure having any input? Is there any input parameter? Is there any out parameter? No. Direct procedure is available, which is executing one select query. So now simply I need to call the procedure from the Java. To call the procedure from the Java, we will go for callable statement. Clear, guys? Yes. Let me write a Java program. New class call procedure. Procedure call. Procedure call example. Yeah, I need the database credentials. Okay, I'm taking my database credentials here. Now, is it SQL or it is procedural call? Procedure name. I'm taking procedure. What is my procedure? Get books data. Any input for the procedure? No. What I need to do this procedure? I need to call space procedure name. Got it? How we are calling the procedure in the database? Call procedure name. In the Java also, how I am writing? Call procedure with the name. Now let's go to our logic main method. I'm going for main method. Do I need to load the driver? No. Directly can I get the connection? Yes. How to get the connection? Driver manager dot get connection URL comma DB username comma DB password. It is giving connection object. Throws exception. Okay. Import it from java.sql. Connection is available. Next step. Statement or prepared statement or callable statement? Callable statement. Why callable statement? I need to call my procedure. Yeah, method is different. To create the statement, what is the method? Con.create statement. To create the prepared statement, con dot prepare statement. Now, con dot prepare call. What is that? Con dot prepare call. To create the statement, we have create statement method. To create the prepare statement, we have prepare statement method. To create the callable statement, we have prepare call method. Okay, for that, let me pass my procedure as a input. What is the return type of this method? Callable statement. That's it. Create statement, prepare statement, prepare call. So for every statement type, there is a different method. Now I got the callable statement. Do I need to set any values for input, output for my procedure? No, my procedure is not taking any input and output. So what we need to do? CSTMT dot execute. CSTMT dot execute query. What I'm doing, guys? CSTMT dot execute query. What it is returning? Result set object. Then what we need to do? While rs dot next. System dot out dot println rs dot get int of 1 rs dot get int of 1 plus rs dot get string of 2 book id book name book price get a double of 3. Then finally what I need to do? Con dot close. Con dot close. Now run this program. Run as Java application. Wow. Are we able to get the data? Yes. So how we are able to get the data now? By using callable statement. What I am doing by using callable statement? I am calling a procedure. What is the logic in the procedure? Select a star from table. That's it. Okay. So now we know how to work with the statement object, how to work with the prepared statement object, how to work with callable statement also. Are you clear with this one? Yeah, note down. Java program to call the procedure. Simple 4 lines of code. Java program to call the procedure. Java program to call the procedure. Java program to call the procedure. Get books data is the name of my procedure that is available in the database. I'm calling from the Java by using callable statement. Today class is a super movie. अरे भाई ये क्या है भाई? सुपर मूवी मीन्स ऋतिक रोशन का सुपर 30 वो बोल रहा है. Interesting. Okay. मतलब yesterday's class is not interesting. Good. Yeah, Iqbal is asking a question like show databases, show tables. Do we have any statement to show the procedures in DB? Yes. Show procedure status is the command which will give you all the procedures available in the database. Show procedure status will give the list of procedures available in the database. Like this. Show procedure status. If I execute this, what happening? It is giving me all the procedures available in the database. Show procedure status. It will work in the MySQL database, not in the Oracle, guys. All the queries which I am giving, right? MySQL database related. This query will give you all the procedures available in the MySQL database. That I will give you later. Did you complete the logic? Did you complete the logic? Yeah. By using below query, we can get all the procedures available in MySQL database. Using below query, we can get all procedures available in MySQL database. Okay. Using below query, we can get all procedures available in MySQL database. Show procedure status is the query. Using below query, we can get all procedures available in MySQL database. Okay, completed? Yeah. Any question on callable statement? Any question on callable statement? Guys, any questions? No, huh? Very good, huh? Okay. Super. Next one. I'm stopping the recording, guys. Hold on. Don't leave. I will give the update. Give the task. Huh? Yes, sir. I will give the tasks. I will send in the group.